Good morning, folks. Welcome to the 19th of July, 2021. Well, it's Keeping It Real with Mary and Lionel, and we're really keeping it real today. We have with us our guest host, Ryan Brathwaite, Jasper Blades, and a young athlete who's upcoming in the field of hurdling. And of course, this morning we are minus without Lionel. He is still doing his repairs in St. Joseph, and we know it's a difficult task for many to be dealing with all of these repairs because it's understandable that over 2,000 Barbadians plus have been having some challenges with their repairs and finding homes and the likes. So we know that with what's happening, we really have to give support to our fellow Barbadians. We talk about those individuals who would have had difficulty in St. Vincent after the ash. And we know for us, it was just as bad. So we have been battling the pandemic, which seems to now affect us in another way, being that our numbers had gone down, and now that they've spiked right back up again, coming to 40 and 50 within a week. And there's a high number of individuals who are now reported to be at the facility in St. Lucie. Day before, we would have reported 7 individuals, 4 males and three females. And at the facility, we now have 152. We continue to ask our fellow Barbadians to remember to wear your mask, sanitize, and social distance. We have to do this together. We cannot do it alone. And if we continue to do this, we know that we can get further and further afield in restrictions being lifted. We're still going into the second week of the curfew, which is 11 p.m. until 5 a.m. Sadly enough, there are some persons who are still on the roads after 11 p.m. And it seems as if they don't think that the law should be adhered to. I guess they're the law unto themselves. And we know that these things, it takes a while for many to realize the importance of adhering to these things. We hope that individuals realize the need to move forward in a positive light. And we know that with what's happening in the world, there's a new, um, what you call, variant in Barbados. And we know that they're asking individuals to be vaccinated. The news came last week that there's a new vaccine. I think it came in from China. I don't recall the name at the moment, but we know that it's available for persons to call or email and make their appointments and go out there and be vaccinated and check for the various facilities that are now doing the vaccinations. It is imperative that individuals understand, like all vaccines, they're what they're considered a buffer. If you get sick, it's supposed to minimize the fact that you will become worse or well, I'm not a medical doctor, but I'm just trying to explain the best way that I understand that if you become vaccinated, um, it decreases whatever could happen if you get sick. Um, there are some individuals who would not be able to have the vaccine. Some may be due to underlying um, circumstances within their health, but we encourage those persons to seek medical advice and find out exactly what they can do in terms of acquiring the vaccine. Most countries now are asking individuals to be vaccinated, to have their PCR tests done. And I know of some friends who have traveled out and they said that it's a breeze going out, there's no problem. And when they left Barbados, of course, you know, you have to have the PCR test done. It's 100 Barbados dollars, 50 US, and it's acquired at the Wilde Gymnasium. And it must be done 42 hours prior to your travel date. And once you present that, um, you receive a certificate and your card, you check in and you go. Coming back home, the government of Barbados has implemented the fact that you have to be quarantined on arrival and have the tests. So it also advises individuals that they must have funds just in case they are, how should we put it? They must have funds to pay for accommodation. And they're usually placed at accommodations that are the hotels based within the COVID 19 protocols where you can stay. So it's always best to go online, visit Barbados GIS or visit barbados.com to acquire those details, which hotels may be economical to your pocket, because I understand that when you come home, you're bussed, take it to an area where you have the test done, and you are likely to be required to be quarantined for a day or two. So if you're going to be quarantined for a day or two, no friends or family members can come to you at the hotel. They can't see you. The only thing you can do is communicate back with them via phone. So the realization is that you have to be prepared with your travel arrangements when you come home. A lot of people don't understand when they're seeing the what's happening in the US or in Canada. They have what they call domestic travel. We don't have that within the region. And it's imperative that individuals understand the need for vaccinations and such likes. And we all know that it is very, very important that when you're traveling to have insurance. Yeah, it's very funny, but you definitely need to have insurance, um, especially when you're going overseas. So, folks, we implore you to do the right thing. Wear your mask, sanitize, vaccinate. And we know that right now the children are having some challenges, but we're going to continue to pray for them and hope that by next week, Wednesday, this journey will come to an end and they're going to have an opportunity to enjoy a bit of their holiday, because there's still some kids are at school and the others are not at school. And we also have to remind folks and give the highlight of one of the programs that has been reintroduced for this coming summer. Of course, the children are in school, and well, the class fours, that is. For those persons who are interested in the Swim for Life program that is through the Ministry of Maritime and Blue Economy, it has come back up, and those individuals can go and register at the National Sports Council office at the Wilde Gymnasium. Its registration starts today, and individuals are going to need two passport size photos of the child or ward and must accompany the registration form. All COVID 19 protocols will be strictly enforced. So, folks, it's a very good activity. It affords the children a little R&R, a little time to, have some fun. It's available for ages 6 to 16, and it starts from August 4th until September the 3rd, 2021. Let me see if my guest co-host is available. My dear friend and brother, Mr. Ryan Brathwaite, ambassador. We always call him the ambassador. He's always laughing at us, but we know he is very special to us. So let me see if Ryan is available this morning, as he is my guest co host and he already knows how the program runs.
Good
Good morning,
morning.
Ryan. Your
I have
caller there.
a warrior malfunction. Yeah.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. I always have mine, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
How are you this morning, my dear? How are you?
Sleep. I am pretty okay. Didn't have much sleep. Had like 5 hours of sleep.
Oh Lord, and
Um,
you do better than that, Ryan, man. Don't tell us that. You do better than that.
yeah, 5 hours of sleep.
So I told
I'm
the
doing better.
guests this morning that are following us thus far that you are our special guest co-host because you've been with us before. We love you so much. But we have you here
Yes.
this morning to talk about the road to Tokyo Olympics because you're more versed and apt in that area
Yes.
than I am. So
Yeah.
Lionel is still doing his repairs to his house in St. Joseph, and he has promised
Um,
us that he will be with us Monday next week. So we know that you can handle the other part of the show with us. And we
yeah.
have a special guest with us, which would be one of our upcoming young athletes who will give us a little bit about himself. His name is Haley Emmanuel Turney. And I'm not sure if you had an opportunity to see him, but he actually trains under your former coach, Mr. Bab.
All in bad. Yes.
So,
Rising
so
stars.
yes, I think
Yes.
he is a upcoming athlete, and he truly warms my heart when I see him. I think too because he's from out by me. So, I've got a lot of persons giving him that support. Even from over and away, we're following him wherever he goes. And he reminds us a little bit about you. He's not a country boy. He might be a bit of country, a bit of city kind of thing.
Me. For me, I think Barbados is a whole country itself in terms of city or not, we are
Yeah,
in one. So,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah. I have something that caught my attention. And I'm hoping that our other guest, Mr. Blades, comes on, Jasper Blades. He also runs a little track and field club. Jump
And with Jasper. Jasper, good coach.
Jasper. Yeah,
Very
yeah,
funny.
yeah. Oh, jovial chap. He'll be able to give us a little bit more about himself. But something I saw
Yeah.
in the paper, and maybe you can touch a bit to elaborate what it really means for those sporting athletes out there. It's the new Cooperative Society for Sport in Barbados. Um, it's related, this is a new society which aims to create a space for members to thrive while contributing to the overall development of national sporting industry. The big word is industry. Membership will be
Yep.
open to all Barbadians, especially those in the sporting sector, including athletes, clubs, federations, and institutions, as well as sport related professionals and entrepreneurs. I think that's a mouthful.
Okay.
Now,
Sounds good.
I think so, but I'm trying to understand. It says the establishment of the BSCSL means that, among other things, this society has the capability to increase national engagement in sports and physical activity and be a democratic mechanism for wealth creation for its members. Additionally, it will serve as a strong supportive structure for all Barbadian athletes, whilst integrating cooperative values such as equality, cooperation, and solidarity for everyone. Do you think such an entity would help individuals such as yourself and upcoming athletes?
For
How
me,
would it benefit
I have to I
those
have to
persons?
agree to disagree. I have to agree to disagree about that because
I know.
the thing is that we have to start from development stage And if we don't start from development stage, we can't get to that level that they're expecting us to be at, or
Mm-hmm.
expecting the new generation to be at. And we need to, I think, go back to the drawing board, rethink, and look at how can we create a program around the COVID situation that's
Mm.
happening within the world and within the country. And
Right,
I don't
right.
think that we are really in tune or prepared for that.
Mm.
And I realized that we need to push more marketing in terms of getting a sports industry. We have no sports industry in Barbados right now.
Mm.
That is
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
from my point of view. There's
Yeah,
none.
yeah.
Lack of facilities, usage of facilities.
Ah.
I think that we need to look at that also. We need to plan better.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get outsiders out there come in and evaluate the whole process of sports in Barbados. Some sports, not all sporting
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
disciplines, but I think we need to get a new revamp of it, rebrand sports in Barbados,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that would be a great move to get involved in, you know, the whole rebranding to me
Yeah.
the
But
sports.
you
It's,
you're
it's,
always you're always talking about marketing. Now, in
yeah, you
terms
got
of
market.
marketing, we we is it that we're a small product that we can't get there? I mean, we've had Obadeli, we've
No.
had Ryan Brathwaite, we've had Andrea, God, I forgot her name, the other runner,
Andre Blackett, yeah, Tony. You had
Andrea
Tony
Blackett.
Oxley. There's many names that we can call right
Yeah.
like for the 9 yards, but it depends. It works on communication and marketing. I
Mm-hmm.
realize we
Mm-hmm.
have lack of communication and marketing with sports here in Barbados,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
and
think it's very
not
challenging.
not to be not to think negative, but I think we are not ready for what is happening up there in terms of sports.
Yeah.
We haven't
Mm-hmm.
sit down and say, you know what, let's let all the associations have a sit down and discuss what is going good on your side that we can actually take from y'all that can help my
Mm-hmm.
association and your association. What weakness you have, we can actually build a strength. We need to
Right, right. And do you think that you mentioned the lack of facilities? Right now, I think the only working facility for most sport um, would be the Usain Bolt complex. What you think in that respect is a deterrent from a real and true athlete progressing in any field right now? Plus, with the fact of COVID, so they would have had little or a minimum amount of training. And now that the Olympics is upon us in the next 4 days, what do you think transpired for those? Because we're going to touch on those who are now going, and we're going to bring in Haley shortly um, to tell us a bit about himself and what he thinks a little bit about with regards to what's happening with the Olympics.
this with the Olympics to me, I think it was too hasty
Mm.
of starting it because we're still going to have some trial and error in terms of the whole COVID and working around it. And, people are coming from all different types of party world, to get there. And imagine traveling and arriving there and then you catch COVID-19, COVID
Ah,
virus,
yeah, yeah.
and it happened. And I was reading in the media yesterday that there were, I think, footballers from South Africa. They arrived, they had COVID.
And they also had a Coco Grant, I think is her name, the tennis player. She can't play anymore, so they're left down with three players
Yeah,
because she's
so
in
it's like
quarantine.
a
She
very
tested COVID
challenging.
19 positive. Yeah.
It's very challenging. And then you have athletes who are going to be in the village, circling around. They haven't seen each other in long. And you know
Yes.
how it is when it comes to meeting new people. And then you still got the cafeteria. Then you got the areas you got to go on train. And you be in the bus. These are a lot of challenging things that, you know, that is going to happen. Like my experience in 2008, my first Olympics in '08 in China.
Hmm.
Um, what they did, they shut the whole factories down for like 2 or 3 months,
Wow.
and just to move like all the smog, the pollution in the air,
Hmm.
and actually it was a good scenery when that happened. Like you can see everything, you can breathe properly, and you get as you arrive, you know, you get accreditation, you settle down, you look at, you know, you get look around the athletic village, see where you have to go, the places that you need to be, the bus transportation schedule, that all of that that you have to do when you arrive at any athletic village or any games that you arrive at. You have to,
Yeah.
you know, look around and see what what we have to do to, you know, your everyday routine for being over in whatever you're going to be in, and prepare and plan, because athletes always active. You can't just stay inside and just like, okay, let me just stay inside the room and not do anything. They like to
Yeah.
get out, look around, interact,
And it can be
create new
boring.
friendship,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
and learn new cultures from other
There's a,
countries. So
yeah.
I think
Yeah. Yeah.
this Olympics is very challenging.
Hmm.
We might have good performances, but it's like, oh, as I run, do I have to go and get another swab? Do I have to get
Yeah.
drug test again? So there's a lot of pressure right now because you're getting swab, you still gotta get drug test. It's like we have to test for COVID, we have to test for drugs at the same time, and sometimes it be pressure on that. So it's like I don't know if they have it a plan in place of they could leave the village, go shopping, whatever, and you get swabbed. If you don't get swabbed, I don't. That's the thing is like it's still a big question mark in terms of the Olympics.
That for this
It
year.
is,
Yeah.
but
Let's
my
bring on
experience, yeah, for this
is
year,
is your experience is a little different, unique, and
yeah,
I think your experience would have been at a time when there was no pandemic, you know.
yeah,
But your
exactly,
vision
exactly,
of what an athlete is going through right now tells us that you had the opportunity to meet and greet individuals, but right now you can't.
yeah,
Let us bring in Haley and let us tell us a little bit about himself and the area in which he performs in as an athlete, and then we would just be able to find out a little bit about him with regards to his thoughts on the actual game itself.
yeah.
Ah, there he is. Good
Hi, good
morning,
morning.
Haley. How are you?
I'm okay. What about you?
I'm
Good
good.
morning,
How are
Ryan.
you? How are you?
Yo,
I'm
You
okay.
need your
I see you
Yeah, right.
alone.
I'm here
It
saying
be
Ray like
on
he needs his glasses. He's doing so trying to see him.
Yeah, it was like he looked different because I remember him with just how he talked.
Yeah.
When I used to be at the
Bro,
track practices,
big,
he would have
big
just
girl.
talk and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
shocked.
yeah.
People mature so fast now.
Well, look who's talking. Look who's talking.
Yeah.
A guy who just celebrated his birthday a couple of months back.
Happy belated. Oh, me? That's
You.
true, yeah. My birthday was last month. Yeah, yeah,
So, Haley Emmanuel Turney, young upcoming athlete for Barbados. And we had a short conversation where he gave a little snippet of himself. And I was laughing with him and said, "Three schools, you should be a scholar." He went to help us. I'm not as
So
young
I
as you.
went to the law school, and then I
Yes.
transferred to the Leicester Law School. And
Yes.
last year for foundation, first year foundation.
I tell you, Ryan, he's a scholar.
yeah,
But one of
yeah,
the
he is.
areas he passed, not paused, passed through is Lester Vaughan. And he met up with a gentleman whose
Yeah,
name is synonymous to track and field, and that is Mr. Babb.
yeah, Mr.
So I
Bob.
know you two guys have had a
Yeah,
touch of Mr. Babb and know what
Yes.
it's like to be under
yeah.
his coaching. But for Haley Emmanuel, tell us a little bit of your journey. We know you would have gone through those three schools, but what has it been like for you when you came from Lester Vaughan to Foundation in terms of your athletic prowess? How did you notice, or how were you noticed to become an athlete?
Um, to be honest, for my transition from the last one school to Graduate Foundation, it was mainly to do athletics for like my last year since I didn't get to do it in 2020 because of
Hmm.
coronavirus.
Right.
So it was okay because the transition was good because I knew a couple people there already,
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
from like athletics and my other sport, which is volleyball and stuff. So I
Hmm.
I felt welcome to that community, and
Hmm.
it was good until earlier this year when you heard that COVID-19 came back worse and it wasn't able to compete in athletics.
Hmm. Hmm. Now, when you were at Lester Vaughan, you explained a bit that it was because of a transfer from Lodge to Lester Vaughan because of other issues.
Yeah.
We're not going to go into that aspect, but what we want to know is when you went to Lester Vaughan and you said that there were little nitpick things going on. Did you go there when you got there? Sorry, did Mr. Babb see something in you to propel you to the sporting arena? Because I know for Ryan it would be a similar scenario, but how was it for you? Because I'm sure you weren't thinking of running or hurdling or even playing volleyball. How did you find that passion for something like that?
When I first transferred to Leicester One, I can remember Mr. Bob telling me that when I'm ready, that the club is always there, that I could come and train. I start to further my career in athletics, and going through that, it helped me because I felt welcome again from not only the athletes but from the coach himself. So it was a good transition because Mr. Bao just had me feel so welcome, and then he just helped me and pushed me to further better myself in the
Hmm.
disciplines.
Excellent, excellent. You Ryan, you have any questions you want to ask him in terms of his relationship with Mr.
Sure.
Babb or anything of the likes?
Well, I already know his relationship with Mr. Bob. I trained with Haley already,
Yeah,
and I
Lovely.
actually gave him
Hmm.
a couple pointers on hurdling because I know from the first that he started, he did
yeah.
a lot of work then, but he's a fast learner,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
his mindset is always there, like in terms of focus. But
Hmm.
for me, my question would be, how do you feel right now that the season is over? What is your next move in terms of sports? What's your plan and what do you want to see in next year, 2022, for sports in Barbados?
Um, right now I can try to like in this off season, I trying to like prepare my body better for next season, um, so that I will be able to run a faster time and like drop my times and for all of my different events I do. And I would really like for next season to be way different to this season because for this season we didn't have a lot of chances to compete to make standards for like other sports and like the other competitions like not the NCAA. I mean for NACA, sorry, for NACA and Panama and like correct games and all of that stuff. So I would just really like to like push myself during the off season to get those chances to make it to the higher competitions.
That's a very good question, Ryan. And I think that a lot of athletes out there are having challenges pertaining to getting their practice done, getting that coaching. Because if you have to do your training, most of your training would have been done online or Zoom, and the Zoom effect wouldn't be the same
Exactly.
as if the coach is right
Yeah,
there
it's
with them
different.
to
It's
see,
different,
yeah, to
Yeah.
see
especially a
to see
treadmill.
what they're doing.
Treadmill is nothing. Like running on a
The-
treadmill is like nah. Seriously, it reprograms your brain in terms of running on just midair, and it's not giving you the technique.
mm,
So just saying,
yeah,
I think getting out there and getting activity out on the field,
yes.
like we need a track,
Oh
we
Lord.
need this, we need a biomechanics lab.
Mm, mm-hmm,
These are stuff that we need that can improve athletes in Barbados.
mm-hmm,
Jamaica does it, and America. I learned it from when I was training in Orlando, and I used to train with Justin Gatlin.
mm-hmm,
Our whole group, we would get every twice in 6 months, we would get a biomechanics test and see where your levels are, well, where your positioning is in running and stretch and sorry, flexibility, and that would show the coach and it would teach you, okay, well, I need to do this. If I do
mm-hmm,
this consistently, it would improve my time or improve my technique. And
mm-hmm,
that really worked out for me in 2012 because in 2000, 20, the end of 2011, when I moved I went to a different coach,
mm-hmm.
and I had to transition into the new coach training.
Right,
And
right.
in 2012, now before the Olympics, I actually ran some good times because the biomechanics testing and
Mm,
the coach knowing where I need to be at actually helped out. And I think we need to start doing that. We need to get biomechanics lab up and running here. You don't need all the equipment. You can create equipment for biomechanics. These are things that we need to do to help the athlete. Because to me, right now, there's no dream or there's no future goals for any athlete in Barbados to me. Because it's like, what is the next move? You can't
right.
train at the national stadium. The track is in bad position, bad care. These are a
Mm-hmm,
lot of things that need to be said.
mm-hmm.
And it's like a lot of businesses, a lot of companies out there would love to come and help Barbados
Yes,
and put
yeah.
money into it. But you know what? We still stay in one position over and over,
Go on.
looking
Oh,
at clockwork, and it doesn't do anything.
yeah. Sadly,
So
no.
that is something that we need to do. Start to get, we need to create a sports industry and a sports tourism. And I think right
Yes.
now, sports tourism is going to generate more than how to say, it will generate funding and it will give a better exposure to for the country itself
Mm-hmm,
out there,
mm-hmm.
and you would get better, well, people will come in and watch a lot of other sporting events. But we need to get our facilities, we need to have a solid facility that we can say, you know what, let's use this. This is how we need to start. With track and field, we need to have an indoor season in Barbados. We need to, if we don't have
Oh,
an indoor season, these are things that we
oh,
need to start doing. Yes, we
let's,
are outdoor all year round, but we need to
yes.
start doing an
What's the
indoor
difference?
season. We should have an indoor facility like 60 meter,
What's the difference
300s.
though, Ryan? What for the
It's a
benefit
shorter distance.
of
It's cut in
Haley?
half, basically.
Oh,
It was
okay.
better because he would be ready, he would be prepared when he go to the States. His mindset
Mm-hmm.
would be, okay, well, he go down into this, he can go into winter season. He got to
Mm.
practice. That's when you
Winter.
start your whole journey of, yeah, you start your whole journey. Well, you start your whole journey
Uh-huh.
from indoors and then to outdoors. So that's where your
Okay.
mentality has to be from indoor to
Oh.
outdoor. And because he'll be running 55-meter hurdles or 60-meter hurdles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If he chooses to do hurdles or whatever scholarship he gets, well, event that they choose, because
Mm-hmm.
the university goes by what your performance is within their particular event. But if they see potential in you to be in an additional event, they will do that. But for me, I was with hurdles. I was so good at hurdles.
Right.
That was the only event that my coach wanted me to participate in
Mm-hmm.
abroad. And we started from indoors. So indoors is something that gets you quick, fast, and it prepares you for the outdoor season that you can, you know,
Wow.
get
Man, and
yourself ready.
I like what Ryan said when he gets that scholarship. My boy, positive on that note for Haley Emmanuel. That is fantastic. And that's why we love Ryan because he always gives these young athletes a positive look to their goals because it's not just about being an
I've
athlete,
been
I
through
think.
it.
It's about being them. It's about being them.
Yeah,
So
it's true.
Haley has, as you said, you've seen him on the track. And I think he was featured some Sundays ago with regards to hurdling. And hurdling with track, although they include the same thing, one of the aspects of that is the hurdles in between the running. And we know for
Yeah.
Haley, how tall are you, Haley?
I'm 6'3".
Woo, you're taller than me, nearly
He
as
said,
tall as
three.
a tree.
Yeah.
He's taller than me. I'm 6'2". I
Only
was
by an
taller than
inch,
him
Ryan.
just the other day. Just the other day was like taller than him by far. He like
Yeah.
And
so
Ryan,
classic.
if
I
you
have
come
to
down by
be.
me, if you come down by me, you see he's taller than me. And I mean, if when he comes to talk to me, I'm outside, but I'm in my gallery, so I have the advantage. But if I have to see him, I have to be looking up at him.
Yeah.
So I know height has a lot to do with hurdling, but I also know that it has a lot to do with the physique of running and applying your body to the
Yeah,
hurdle.
technique. It's always
Now,
about technique.
right now, over the weekend, the Athletic Association of Barbados had, I think, their last meet at Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we weren't able to see it. I
On
was
Ryan
trying to
Brathwaite
get
track.
on.
Hold on the Ryan Brathwaite track. You see, that's the problem with marketing in Barbados.
Oh my God,
They
Ryan!
pause and then add the additional. I just that's what it is.
I
That's
know,
how the league
Ryan.
does it. So
I know,
no
Ryan.
comment, no comment, no comment. Boy.
He made
Yeah.
he ran the 100 meter on the 12 11 point. What was it again?
11.72. Yeah.
11.2. He came third in that, and then he did uh help me a 2 by 2 by 4 by 800. I don't understand why they have
Yeah.
these races. The only thing is when we ask them, well, how much was in that race? Only two people, two each per sector, and I think he performed
Yeah.
in the
The
200. You said the 4 by
four by 100 and the long jump.
and the long jump.
That's a lot.
Um,
That is a lot.
that's a lot on a young body. And you're how old now? 17,
It's
18?
it's
He's 18. And But he's younger than you and I, right? So he could do all five or six if he could put his mind to it, which is a very good thing for
I have my
Haley
days of
Manuel.
that.
Now, he also plays volleyball
Yeah.
for the height.
Yes.
He plays volleyball. So, Haley, what brought you to be doing all of these sports? Do you have a love, or the extra is just it's just?
Well, I only started volleyball when I went to Leicester One actually. I was at one of the physical education classes and
Mm-hmm.
I just saw it on the court and it looked fun. So the coach that was there, he just taught me how to actually like spike and like pass and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just grew from there because we
Mm-hmm.
had the under 19 the under 19 tournament
Mm-hmm.
and I was then I went to the youth practices. I got
Right.
invited to the youth practices for Barbados
Yes.
and in the team I made the team and we went to Jamaica
Mm-hmm.
and we won the competition and
Mm-hmm.
I got the best medal blocker for for the for that.
Ooh, fantastic, fantastic. So when you do you have a love for one more than the other, or you just have both on the same level?
Track for sure is a higher I have a higher level of love for
Mm-hmm.
than volleyball. For me, volleyball was just a hobby, but then I actually started to grow in the sport,
Mm-hmm.
so I started to take it a little more seriously. It just continued from there, and then
Mm-hmm.
later on the year of 2019, I
Mm-hmm.
made the junior team for Barbados.
Right.
We went Mars to meet, and we won that competition as well.
Beautiful, beautiful. So do you think um in your track and field journey, have you had anyone actually look at you as yet? Do you see the potential that you can go forward with a scholarship? I know Ryan is positive that you will. Do you think you can, that feat will be at the end of the road for you to have another journey?
Yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal, to be honest. To actually go to college. I have a lot of goals in mind. I want to
Mm-hmm.
like set in place to meet, and one of
Mm-hmm.
them is definitely going overseas on a scholarship.
Beautiful, beautiful. Ryan, what good advice do you want to give our young athlete, pro scholar, Mr. Haley Manuel?
I think, follow your dreams. Like, think everything positive instead of negativity.
Mm-hmm.
Keep yourself positive. Keep pushing. Make the best decision that you want to make going forward in life. Could be with work, could be with education, could be with any talents that you put forward with. I think you should keep going, and it's going to be a tough ride, but that's how life is. You go through a channel that to see where your mind at in terms of if you're going to stay positive or negative. Like that's how his journey is. That's how you know law of attraction. You give out up there and receive. So you just keep pushing yourself. Nothing can't stop you from accomplishing anything you want to. It's all
Amen.
about just pushing and work hard. So keep training hard,
Yes,
keep focused.
yes.
Don't take nothing negative. Just keep positive. There's
Beautiful,
nothing else
beautiful.
you can do. This situation here with COVID has, you know, made a lot of people be depressed, have other problems, have financial issues, have all kind of stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
you gotta keep yourself positive
Yes,
because
yes.
it's all about your mind. Your mind controls your whole structure, your system of your body, of your heart pumps, all that. So
Mm-hmm.
I think keep yourself focused and what you want in life and
Mm-hmm.
keep going because you can always get battles or in the path that you're going.
Yeah,
nothing stops it. So
correct.
just gotta fight it and try to avoid negativity.
Right. Now, in light of that, so that we can have a little idea, because I know for Haley, he would have been doing, a lot of training and concentrating on his studies because for now, a lot of the students are still doing their CXCs here in Barbados.
Yeah.
And a lot of it had to be deferred because
Yeah.
not only did we have the ash, we also had Hurricane Elsa. Now, the team, we only have eight, I think, eight folks, eight young athletes that have gone up to Tokyo, who are presently in Tokyo. And one of them obviously has Leah Martindale stand still as their coach, which will be Daniel Titus. And I think Alex Sobers is the other swimmer who
Hmm.
will be in Tokyo as well. We have Shane Brathwaite, who won the gold at the Pan Am Games in 2019 with the 110 hurdles. Have you ever had a chance to run with Shane Brathwaite, Haley, or
Yeah.
he? What was your experience with him? What do you think can he achieve getting close to the semis at the Olympics?
Oh yeah, yeah. I actually do think he can make it to semis. I've been watching a lot of his races,
Hmm.
and his technique is very nice, and he actually progresses through the hurdles better. And I really think that he can make it this year for Olympics.
Ryan, have you had a chance to watch Shane, or you didn't see him?
Haven't I watched one or two races? I try to
Hmm.
stay away from track and field. Sorry to say, but but I love the sport, so have like nothing doesn't stop me. But
Yeah.
Shane has improved during being at this level that he was at before, and
Hmm.
I'm very pleased.
Hmm.
It's going to be a challenging competition this year, but I know he's going to get in finals. I
Hmm.
know he'll be
Hmm.
in finals, and from there, he's just got to do his job, run,
Wow.
get to that line.
Beautiful
So
to see
that's the
to
main.
see that.
That's the main. That's the main point there. That's the main thing there. Your aim is to make heats, get in the finals. Your
Hmm.
semifinals is your finals. That's how you have to
Hmm.
go through that with your mindset. And then
Okay.
your
Okay.
finals is the time that you need to put down.
Now
So
we
that is
also
how it is. That how it goes.
okay. We also have the famous. Well, I call him famous because I've been watching him for a little while. Mario Burke, um, the 100 meter. Again, I know Haley would have seen him running, and was it him or Jonathan Jones that had an injury? Somebody had injury. Was it Mario Burke that had an injury?
I think it was Mario.
Yeah. What do you think? You think you're gonna be gonna he's gonna be one to look out for as well?
Yeah, for sure he is.
Yeah, Mario
He's really big.
Burt, he for sure he is.
You think so? You guys got this down pat that this young man because I've been watching him and he's pretty fast. So I'm
Yeah,
thinking that we're gonna have our eye with that with our Barbadian flag high, flying high with that particular athlete. And what about I think um, you have a Sada Williams and a Dana Bell.
Tia Bell.
What about those two? Tia Bell.
To me, I have faith that they're actually gonna do really good.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, finals it boils down to be you have to be in that mental state of the finals where
Right.
let's make it
Right.
happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because I
Mm-hmm.
can't just go on predictions and say, oh well, this person. Remember,
Mm-hmm.
it always boils down to the final team. But I know they're
Yeah.
gonna do well, and I want the Barbados team to do their best, and I wish them
And
best
push
of luck.
forward. Yeah.
They know what mindset they are in right now because of the whole COVID and trying to keep focusing their events. And I know they're gonna do pretty good. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I love goals, silvers, bronze, no matter what. We will get some type of medal somehow.
Well,
Shane, as I said, Shane is one of the biggest hopes. So
yeah,
I think once he keeps himself focused, it's going to be a lot of competition because I've been looking at how this year season with the hurdles is, and he's still up in there in the top, I think top 14 or something like that, or top
right,
12.
right, right, right.
So
And
which is good. Mm.
I'm hoping that all of these
But his aim
athletes,
should be is semifinals, then finals.
do you think, guys, that, well, we've had a contender knocked out because of an incident where she smoked some marijuana. Let me just say marijuana in Oregon where it was legal and then was tested after and was
Mhm.
disqualified from playing. Do you think the competition has become harder for those who are there now? Notably, track and field starts on the 30th of July. You think that apart from our team, those persons that are there, like your dear friend Justin Gatlin, he's back there at 39. Do you think that those are individuals that
Yeah.
our player or athletes have to observe and watch to see what they're doing to guide them when they hit the track?
Right.
What you guys think?
Yeah. But yes, what happens is for instance, the Sherry, the
Hmm.
girl that get tested positive for the marijuana,
Hmm.
as it can be real with everybody, that is in the rule, but you can't be tested as a prohibited drug
Hmm.
during competition, and this is her competition year, so you got to pay the consequences of what you do, and a lot of people gonna backlash at the federations and the associations, but they need to understand that they need to read the rule books on how testing is done and what drugs you can't use for not using. And to me, it affects others because people would be like, "Oh, I can't have." Like for instance, I can't take cough medicine, sorry,
Right.
because that has some type of substance that you ain't supposed to use, like poppy seeds
Haley, you
on a
know that?
burger. You ain't supposed
You
to use
know
poppy
that too?
seeds.
Oh, cough syrups. So
Yeah,
if you're sick, you gotta drink orange
Yeah,
juice.
poppy seeds. Yeah,
Poppy
so
seeds,
poppy
Ryan.
seeds and all these other. Yeah. That is another part of it. These is things, beta
So you
blockers.
could only
You
eat
can
white
keep
bread.
going on and on. Blood thinners. So you got to be
So
careful what you eat
okay. So
in
guys,
terms of.
if you have a cold, tell me exactly what is it you're supposed to do. If you have a cold,
You take vitamin C. Does it? Or something that doesn't have the. You go on Glodro, which is a website that tells you which drug is prohibited from not prohibited, or if
mhm,
it's during prohibited during competition or out of competition drug, it's different. So you got like a limitation of it, right? For instance, this is the end of season for track and field,
right?
and you can do whatever you feel like. I wouldn't suggest anybody doing it, but it's like you have a the back time for yourself to, how to say,
They
purge
can,
your system
oh,
out.
they can have a drink.
Yeah, you got alcohol. Yeah, you don't go overboard with it. I don't suggest, as I said, athletes no to alcohol.
You're
Stick to
not
your
supposed to
water and
drink
Gatorade.
alcohol, right? Water and Gatorade. But I'm trying to ascertain if you get up in the morning, your senses are acting out, and you have a cough or well, you know, with COVID now, that means you have COVID, which is different altogether. What I'm trying to find out is if I get up sneezing, my allergies are dripping, and I'm in a total mess. What are you supposed to do?
You just search for. Well, you can take some type of medication, but you gotta search which medication is the best one that doesn't have any particular substance that. which is on the balance. That's all. It's nothing hard about it. It's just
So you
you
have
have
to
to
walk
look
with a
like you
booklet.
need. For instance, you could take a Panadol. I could take a Panadol, a
Uh-huh.
paracetamol. These
Uh-huh.
are things that you can take. Advil. A lot.
Mm-hmm.
These are stuff that you can take. You know.
So Haley
So
don't get sick.
you always have. Well, he's a healthy immune system should be up and running
Better
very
than
good.
yours and
Like
mine. Yeah, I think
keep it
so.
active.
I think so. Yeah, he probably
Well,
drinks a
I
lot
haven't
more
had a
orange
cold in
juice than
7 years,
us.
so
What?
but I love my bushy, so
Is bush tea legal?
uh
Bush tea is legal?
it is because I've been drinking it for years, so it got tested and never came up on any test. So
So Haley
I used to
Emmanuel.
get tests like every because the testing system is so weird right now. Is
Right.
that every said for instance, say when we're gonna sleep down by say you want to sleep by one of my friends or whatever. You gotta give them the details, everything, and then you get
Mm,
is a 1 hour window that you have to give them between to for them to come and test. They could just show up like that and test you within that one
mm.
hour window. So
Wow. You're hearing that, Haley Manuel? You see
yeah,
how
it's
stringent
different
these
now.
folks are? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I must say that,
So that's why you
we
gotta try to
really,
keep up there and read the IWF rules. I should say any athlete they should read the IAAF or this should say World Athletics now
hmm
Association
right,
manual in terms of the rules and WADA. You go on WADA, they got something named Global Drug that tells you when you type in whatever drug you see on that label, you could type it
right,
in and show if it's prohibited or not.
right, right. You
Then
hear that, Haley? You're
globaldrug.com.
learning something now. You're learning something because if you want to
So
be
these is
a,
things, and there's an app also
yeah,
now. There's an app now that you could put on your phone on Global Drug, and you can
right,
just type in whatever drug, and it can tell you, oh well, this is prohibited. This is an
right.
out of competition. You can use it. This
Mm,
is out of competition, but yada 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 yada. So it is different. It's different types of
yeah, 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 yeah,
things that
yeah.
you can do. You can research. You got Shalise there. You already know Shalise.
Yeah.
She's a physio. She was my physio from day one. She used to travel
Wow.
with me, travel with the
Mm,
barber team, travel with me privately when it comes to track meets and stuff like that. She, for me, is one of the best active care. That is
mm-hmm,
her business, active care therapy. She
mm-hmm,
does any, people who had like reoccurring injuries or accidents,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and causing injuries and stuff like that. There, she actually helps, and she's very good. Her name is Shalise Jordan, and she is really good. You have
Good.
others, but for me, my recommendation is Shalise Jordan because she knows whole biomechanics of my body from
And I'm
her
sure she
days
knows.
back then.
I'm sure she knows
Yeah,
Haley
yeah,
Manuel's
she work on Haley.
biomechanic too.
Yeah, yeah,
Huh?
yeah. So it's
Cherie
like,
should know you as well, right,
and she worked
Haley?
on Justin Gatlin.
Yeah.
She worked on a lot of people.
Everybody. Right, right, right. Well,
So it's like,
I want to thank Haley Emmanuel for joining us this morning. I know that um, he has. I don't think he has such a packed schedule now that the meet is over. He gets a little time to get some R&R for himself.
season is
But
done. Season is done.
yes,
Yeah.
so he
You see,
knows that he knows that he has to reimagine, reinvent himself and stuff like that for when the season reopens again. When does it start again, Haley Emmanuel?
I'm not too sure, but my coach is giving us a couple weeks off to
October.
for ourselves.
October.
Then we can start our preseason training.
Right. Ryan is thinking that it may be in
I think like
October.
October. Yeah,
Yeah,
September,
yeah, yeah,
October. Yeah, October. Yeah, either
yeah.
October
So
or
we
September. Nah,
okay.
October.
And
Yeah,
we also want
because
to
September
hail
is
out
too short.
the club that he's in as well. It's Rising Stars, is it?
Rising Star
Yeah. Were
Track
you
Club.
in that
Rising
too, Ryan?
Stars. Yeah.
You were in Rising Stars?
Yes, it was a
Oh,
Rising.
oh, you were.
Yep,
I
yep,
was not in
yep,
no
yep.
rising star. I'm a star all to my own.
Yeah, Rising Star.
So we
That
we
was
want that was what?
a good. That's actually my. I had my best experience actually. I was at Freedom Raiders first. That was
Uh
before
huh.
Rising Stars was created. So Mr. Bob was at Freedom Raiders. That was one of the top competitive clubs. And then Mr.
Right.
Bob branched off and started the
And
Rising Stars
I
Fat
have a
Club.
question for Ryan. And I don't know. This is before we go off. Do you think for young aspiring athletes like young Haley Manuel, any other parent who may be watching, do you think it's recommended that when they see the potential of a child who might be good at running, javelin, whatever, any sport, do you think it's always best to get them into a club?
Yes, that's the best thing. Because what happens is club you get to interact and you you have somebody there that can push you in terms of any practice events and stuff like that would
Mm-hmm.
help you
Mm-hmm.
be prepared. Because for
Right, right.
me back then I didn't have anyone really running training with me in hurdles. I know it's hard for Haley also because there's not much 110-meter hurdlers that you will go
Yeah.
to the club
Yes.
to train with. So it's very
Yes.
difficult. And sometimes
Mm-hmm.
you gotta train with like females. Like for me in Orlando, I had to train with Kelly Wells, which is she's a bronze medalist, so 100-meter hurdles. She
Mm-hmm.
was my
Mm-hmm.
training partner. Like, and after that, I had David Payne, who won the bronze at World Championships with me.
Right,
We trained
right.
together. So and Ronnie
So
Ash, which
you
is he's another good hurdler. So
So the hurdling aspect of an athlete in Barbados, I know we spoke about that as one the first
it's
topic,
hard.
is very, very hard
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
a hurdler.
because you don't have much training partners that you could say, well, that will push. Because I know right now here
Mm,
is no one else that trains with you that really runs 110, maybe one or two persons, right?
It's, um, it's mostly trained like Carry Buckles, and
Right.
like
So
so
yeah.
why is that? Why is that, Ryan?
right. So that
Do the coaches only
cause
concentrate mainly on
hurdles,
track and field and not hurdles?
not really. It's just hurdles is high hurdles is a kind of a difficult event, and people try to avoid that event. And
Me too.
I won't say
I did
avoid,
hurdles
but
at school, but I
sometimes
wouldn't
your
run it
talent.
now.
Yeah, but it's a handful of hurdlers in Barbados.
Mm, mm-hmm.
I think we can expand it and be more out there with hurdles, but it's just
Right.
a matter of
The
a
la-
whole teamwork in terms of getting all these hurdlers together and start a hurdle program within the
right.
Barbados and get it together. But
Association.
that will come later
That
in.
I think you'll be good for
I'm
that,
just
Ryan. I think you'll
beyond.
be good
I
for
in the
that.
future right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I in
I
the
think you'll
future
be
right
good for
now.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, but coaching, I prefer give advice. I prefer get advice, but not coaching.
But you could coach me, Ryan. I'm willing to
Well, I can
try.
give you advice and explain, but
Hmm.
coaching is a very hard
But
thing. People think that
but
it's
as
just
my friend, you will coach me, won't you? Behind the
I
scenes.
I would maybe two. I'll put 2% into coaching. 2%.
Okay. And I gotta give you
2%.
98%. And I will have to give you 98%.
No, well, not really. Not really.
Ah, come on.
Not really. Not really.
Anyhow, let us thank our young rising star. Oh Lord, that sounds strange. Rising star. Our own keeping it
Yeah, it
real
sounds good.
with
Yeah, it's
Mary
very
and Lionel,
it'll catchy. Yeah.
rising star Haley Emmanuel Turney for joining us this morning. We want to let him know that not only is he a rising star athlete member for the club, but he is our own show rising
Hmm.
star. because he has been recognized as an outstanding athlete for Barbados at a young age, 18 years old. And we
Yes,
want
he
him
is.
to realize that with progress, tenacity, and as Ryan always goes out, support, you are going to get to the road of success in whatever you do. And I remember Ryan in his interview with us mentioning about becoming a professional athlete. It's not the easiest thing in life to do. And it's very,
It's
very,
not.
very hard. And it takes a lot of mental training, a lot of, you know, there are things there that people don't realize that as an athlete, it's all mental. So we want you to realize that we are your biggest fans, your biggest supporter, and we thank you, although you're very, very young, we thank you for your service as small as it is, it may seem to you, but we always recognize our special
Mhm.
guests on the show and we ask
Yeah.
God's guidance and grace for you. So thank you very much for joining us this morning. And we hope to see you again. And best of luck in your journey. God bless.
Thank you.
You're most
Uh,
welcome. So we'll see you soon again. Okay?
All right.
Okay.
All
Bye
right.
bye.
Bye.
So,
okay.
bye.
Bye.
So, Ryan, we know that you are a busy
Yes,
camper,
please.
always a busy camper. And we know that our
Yeah.
relationship will be beyond the show. It's always beyond the show, regardless. A lot of folks might not know we're in a little project together. A lot more is going to be coming out soon, and we're going to let the folks know a little bit more of what's happening. And
Yeah.
let me tell you, Ryan has a vision not just about sports, but he has a vision about going into the community and helping others. And that's why we so much appreciate Ryan because we know he may be home. A lot of people might not see him. You know, Ryan is kind of a quiet chap, but deep down inside, he's always thinking of what he wants to do and where he wants to do it and how he wants to do it. And
Yeah.
that is something that it might not shine for many, but we know it is shining regardless. And
Yeah.
you know, I've always been to a point where I say, you know, sometimes a lot of things Ryan brings forth when it comes to the sporting arena, it is so true. And when you see other individuals within the government entity that were there, I think reading an article that I did over the weekend, I was at yesterday, even the same volleyball where they were talking about individuals looking to be part of the Olympics and they can't because we're so small, you know. These are things, as you rightfully said, these need to be reviewed. The sporting fraternity, although I think it's under the Barbados Olympic Association, I don't know if they're
Yeah.
pumping
And
enough
that's just
and
what's
dependent mostly on corporate Barbados, but I think it has to be a more united something where it is an avenue for a young athlete who is looking to make themselves better in whatever field it is. As you said earlier, hurling is not something a lot of people look at. And for a young man such as Haley Emmanuel to now be training in the hopes of obtaining a scholarship, to me, it sounds as if
yeah.
he works at track and field, he might get the scholarship. But if he works harder at hurling, which is a feat that is very difficult, he may not get a scholarship because people are looking at the times he's also doing. It's okay to say you're hurdling for a scholarship, but at the same time, his times have to be what those individuals are looking for, you know, to spend that money on you. I don't know. It's very
But I
hard for
was on a half
athletes.
scholarship. I was
Not
on a
even a
half
whole.
scholarship, not a full, a half.
Ha.
I had to
And
pay for accommodation,
but that's what I'm saying, Ryan. And
and that was not cheap.
even if we have, let me ask this question. We depend on a lot of scholarships from overseas, right? My question is, couldn't a scholarship be created through an entity here in Barbados with that college or university?
Could
Why has it been? Why does it have to be
Well,
dependent on the reverse?
you
I'm just thinking. I don't know. So.
we are not. Let me explain this. I might be wrong or right, but I think I might be in the right path of what I'm going to say. The University of West Indies here, I don't think we are in the same channel abroad for colleges overseas in terms of NCAA.
Mm,
Now,
right.
if we had a position like that, it
Hmm.
would be easier for athletes here in the sports
Right.
department to be. It would be an easier way to get out there or be, a team
Hmm.
and go against universities or abroad to
Hmm.
participate in the events, NCAA events, but we are not.
Hmm. Right.
So I think we need to go back to the drawing board and think of ways that we can, if what we can do to get to that stage out there.
Right.
You
Right.
have
Right.
university games. University games is, I think, last one was in Russia. I think
Hmm.
maybe a couple, 2, 3 years, 4 years ago,
Hmm. Hmm.
and that's like different universities worldwide. But I think getting into the American system in terms of sports would be good for Barbados.
Hmm.
Um, we need to think of, as I said, indoor facilities. We need to
Right.
get
Right.
ourselves in that mindset
So
that
again, you need money.
this is going to yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But I
You,
said investors, they're investors, but
you don't know.
what are we gonna do? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, I think that that we, as you said, we really have to look at these things and see who will benefit from it. And we know really and truly it's the athlete. And I think that sometimes if
yeah,
we
but
had
we
to
have to be on the same
reverse,
path.
that's right, that's right, that's right. I think sometimes if, I don't know, I think if they probably look at working along with that particular college, even if this, as you said, you get a half scholarship, even if they say they're going to offer half, have a company that would do the other half in collaboration to show that it's a community effort between two countries
Yeah,
as entities, whereas that child or student acquires a full scholarship and gives them an a ease to the parent or parents as well, but give them something really to look forward to. I think so. But you know,
that's what I'm trying to do with the sports agency. We are doing so much right now, and we have a major project that fingers crossed that COVID won't be more in a position to keep pushing back it with
mhm,
the
mhm,
protocols.
yeah,
And I
yeah, I
think that
know,
we need to have a new sport in the country
yeah, yeah, I know you spoke
to
about
get
that.
the mindset off of it. I think doing that, not running away from culture sports or anything like that, but to introduce
Mhm,
something new which would help create and bring revenue. Because
mhm,
that particular sport, or I should say, yeah, well, sport, that would bring so much revenue to Barbados, and it would help with sports tourism. That is sports
mhm.
industry, sports tourism. There are two
Right,
different things.
correct, correct, correct. Yeah,
Sports tourism
definitely.
is we need to bring people here for sports,
Mhm,
spectators.
mhm,
And I
mhm,
think
mhm.
that is what is going to bring people back to Barbados, not only
Yeah,
for recreational, but sports related. And I think that we need to push more heavy in the sports
yeah.
sector side
And
of it. We need to
and
get the sports industry. That's why people don't put money into a country
correct.
without seeing the results of, okay, well, we have this fan base for this. We have that fan base. Cricket has its own fan base. Cricket has its own revenue. We
Mhm,
can't just think about cricket. You have to look
mhm.
at other sporting
Entities.
disciplines, entities to
Yes.
really get into that mindset to push money into. Sports is where the money is. They get their money
Yeah.
from advertisements. They get their money from
That's right. That's right.
broadcasts.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think bring CNN here, bring some sports coverage within the Caribbean. That is
Correct.
something that I'm looking at going to create a new sport within the Caribbean, and
Mm-hmm.
that would help get things off the ground in terms of facilities. For instance, we need to get new facilities. We need
Yeah.
to enhance what we have right now. People are using more turf than grass now. There's less
Mm-hmm.
maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think we need to get involved in that.
Right.
With track and field, you still have to need you need grass that the grass that cut constantly. Still need
Mm-hmm.
it because um you got
That's where most of the kids
javelin,
run.
man, yeah,
Most kids still run on
right,
the grass. Most kids still run on grass.
exactly. But it's
Yeah.
less injuries in terms of the
The turf.
artificial grass, but
Yeah.
I think the turf, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think we need to think of a solution to have a new sport here, get people to welcome back to Barbados in terms of sports. That's the only way you can find people right now with investors. The investors out there are looking at what can we put our money into to create a new
Mm-hmm.
for sport facility
So
and see revenue
with
coming back. We should have
with
universities coming to Barbados to stay. We should have all these top international teams come to Barbados and say, you know what? We got a
that's
facility
right.
here that y'all can use. We have a biomechanics lab. We have this here going. We have that there going. And that is where my mindset is. And we are not doing that. Right now, I
Yeah.
have people that can put money into this country at National Stadium, but I'm not going to do that because
Yeah.
they not in that position to say it, but things need to
Mm.
be on the same
Page.
stage and
Yeah. Yeah.
mindset.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
need to say, look, this is what we need to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. Not talk it. Let's do it.
Right. Correct.
Let's reach
Correct.
out.
Correct.
No, I
So
read an
the
article is yesterday or during the week about the national stadium and getting grants. I don't think that we should go that side of it. I don't
they're
think we should.
they're getting what?
We were asking to get grants to
Oh,
rebuild the stadium from
grants.
China. I don't think we should.
No, no, I want no grant.
Yeah,
Why can't we do it ourselves?
I don't think we should do it.
But
I don't think we should.
can't we
I
do
think we
that
should get
ourselves?
the local.
That's what I'm asking. Can't we
We
do that
can, but it's
ourselves?
like
Can it be a joint venture? Can't Busy
we
and his
can,
brother
but we
and
could
all of
still.
them work together?
It could be a joint venture. It can be. It can be. But I think that we need someone else with a better experience out there, business wise, to come in and say, look, we want to dump some money in Barbados to create a facility. You can put your name whatever corner of the building, whatever front, back, whatever you want, and have fun with it. That's like other businesses.
But let me
People
ask
come in.
Ryan. Let me ask a foolish question, Ryan. And we're gonna go off now because
Hmm.
it's coming up time to the end of the show. But I
Yeah.
know people try to create relationship with other countries. But can we go to places like Dubai or Africa?
That is what I'm telling you. I was trying to tell
Right,
you
but
yesterday on this
anyhow,
world that we need.
I
That is
just
where
wanted to
our
know
investors are, and
because
I sat down with the Lord
to
and talk to
me,
the Lord, these people.
that they're not one of the best to
But
really
we
go
don't communicate
towards.
or reach out.
Yeah, I don't think they're one of the best for me personally to go to for infrastructure. Um, their
Right.
vision in terms of look at the
Their
Eagle
vision
Hall
is so
market,
futuristic. That's what you need.
but look at the Eagle Hall market.
Yeah, but who built it? I
The
understand,
Chinese,
but who built it? It's
but the Chinese.
exactly. So I'm just saying,
I
I'm
don't
not
have
talking
anything
about Dubai.
against them. I'm just talking about there's nothing wrong with
They are
having
so
futuristic
futuristic in
buildings.
terms of building.
We're talking about
Yeah, but it's that
getting the
risk.
job,
It's a risk thing.
getting the job done at an affordable cost. And as you say, if they want to put the name or whatever on
I
it, that's
agree.
cool, you know. But anyhow, that's a different
For that, I
discussion.
don't. That,
Different
yeah,
discussion.
yeah, it's true.
Different
That might
discussion.
get heated. I agree.
Um, I want to wish all those athletes who will be, well, I don't know how they're going to do the
Uh,
opening ceremony at
Participating in the
Tokyo,
Olympics.
but participation in Olympic, these next 4 days are going to be very difficult. Everybody's going to be monitoring what's happening. And I hope and pray that these young athletes, both from Barbados and across the globe, are well and they're safe. Some of them have moved out of the village because of what has transpired with some athletes becoming positive, and we know that it's going to be a task.
Yeah.
All of us are waiting to see how things are going to transpire for the Olympics come Friday, and we hope and pray that they
We
will.
wish well.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
hope that their dreams are accomplished. And before we
Will
go
come
on a
true
closing
and
note,
continue because
yeah, we want to
mhm.
send our condolences to the family of Gordon Frank Shot Delisle Brooks. He passed away sometime, a well known photographer as well as a writer, author of one of the best photographic
Yeah, my
books pertaining
condolences
to the
go out
West
to the
Indies.
family.
Yeah, and his service is tomorrow, Tuesday, at the St. George Parish Church. Persons can go and give their condolences to that. And we also want to extend again, oh there, condolences as well to the basketball coach, the 52-year-old who was who passed away actually. I just had the
Yeah.
article here with me. It's very sad that she has passed, and we want to wish that family our condolences and pray that
Yes.
they find comfort. Coach Burke, um, she was Sonia Burke. She died on Friday in the United States. She was a
Wow.
flamboyant guard captain in the senior women's team that won the title at the 15th CARICON Championships in 2000 at the gymnasium in the Garfield Sobers Complex. So I
Yeah.
pray that, she rest well, and we pray that her family finds comfort at this time of bereavement. So, folks, we want to thank Ryan Brathwaite, our guest co-host, who
And
he's like
thank
family to
you
us
very
here. He's
much
like
for
family to us
inviting
here,
me.
and yeah, and he's always willing and able to help, and we love to have his discussion and debates with him when he comes on the show.
Yes,
So
I love
safe
debates.
regards to your family. Say morning to Ellie for me. And I wanted to remind the folks out
Yeah.
there, remember, wear your mask, sanitize, and social distance. We also want to advise and remind folks out there, go out there, call a friend or a
Be
family,
safe. Yeah.
and be safe. Just tell them you're just checking on them to see how they are. And everybody, have a wonderful week and have a good day. Remember, this evening we have a special show with Mikey Mercer. That's at 6 o'clock this evening. So
Nice.
join us this evening, and we look forward to seeing you folks. Pleasant day to all, and bye bye.